Hey guys, it's me again. Thought I'd check in again and give you kind of an update on what's going on. So as of last night, I think probably officially this morning, and today is 13th of March, Tel Aviv University officially closed, following the orders of the state of Israel, the government, to close all schools and universities because of COVID-19. So, school is now closed. That does not mean classes are canceled. It just means that the physical location of the school is closed. So the school had been preparing for this and now is going to move all of the classes online, which in and of itself is a massive undertaking. And so I think the next 2 weeks are going to be some of the hardest in the administration's history. Notwithstanding, I think transferring en masse every single class, all the students, into an online system. I mean, schools do this, have a transition process of years to do this. So it's going to be a rough couple of weeks, but I think once everybody gets into the cycle of it, I think it'll be okay. It's going to suck for the next couple of weeks trying to get everybody onto the portal, and get the professors all feeling comfortable with the online system and all the students feeling comfortable with it. I just wanted to speak a little bit to kind of what I'm feeling and what I'm seeing as a former emergency manager, kind of watching this response. In no way a public health expert, so do not read into that. But I think my biggest frustration is, one, I don't have a role in this, an emergency management role, which is hard, because I am feeling all of the frustrations of a member of the public. Lack of clear information, lack of consistent information, frustrations over just things impacting my life without a clear threat. And we used to say that as emergency manager, we were aware of that. We were aware that people didn't respond well to being told what to do when they couldn't see the threat. And this is a perfect example of that situation where there's no tangible threat. It's not like there's a wall of water or there's smoke in the sky or there's earthquakes and whatever. But your lives are being impacted just as much, if not more, from this, and you're being told to do certain things and your life is being controlled way more. But the frustration is you can't see the threat. So that's interesting, kind of being on this side of it. But on the other hand, I'm also very aware that the people in government and the people who do have responsibility to respond are working really, really hard to, they're working really hard on almost a losing game. I find it, and the emergency manager in me is angry that they probably feel like they can't win. There's nothing they can do that's going to be right. Everywhere they turn, they're going to have people mad at them. And no matter how well-intentioned they are, how much they're working so hard for the best of the population and to make the most correct decisions with all the information they have, it's not going to matter. People are still going to hate them. And there's a part of me that's really angry about that, because that's just not fair. It's not fair to those people. And also to understand that there's absolutely no way that an emergency manager or anybody in that field can plan for this. I think we expect some type of amazing cooperation and coordination and, an Avengers level type of response to something that up to this point was unprecedented in the modern world. We have lived through quite a few plagues or pandemics, for lack of a better term, but each of those usually lasted years before there was enough cooperation, enough partnership, enough relationship built up where they were eventually eradicated. And now we have this one and people are expecting that to turn on a dime and for us to create up these systems and structures internationally, which are just not there. The WHO is a wonderful organization, and they are working their literal asses off in response to this, but their structure and their system is not a comprehensive one. It's not designed to be at readiness all the time for a global pandemic. It's not feasible. And so, and they are a recommending agency. They have no control over any of the countries that they serve, like none. And so, as much as they can plan for it, they can't put anything tangible in place, because they have to convince all of these countries to spend a whole bunch of money putting something in place that may never be used. And unfortunately, it would be used right now, but it's just so big and it's so massive that there's no way that any one person, country, anything, even an international organization and an international NGO, could never have created a comprehensive plan that was effective and could be implemented like that. And we're working towards that. I think a lot of countries are working really hard to forming those relationships, but that structure is not here right now. And I think the people expect it to be. I think we expect it to just be like this amazing thing where everybody just drops everything and helps each other. And as nice as that would be, and as amazing as that would sound, it's just not reality. We have to work within the reality that we're given currently, and that's just not the reality that we have. And so I'm also frustrated by kind of like they're in a no-win situation. These emergency managers, these planners, these healthcare experts, they're in a no-win situation. And so I feel for that. I feel for them a little bit. Yeah. So I think that's kind of my biggest thing, is just, this is not something that anybody can plan for. It's not something that anybody has the resources or the ability to plan for, or the responsibility or the authority to plan for. This is one that is built almost entirely on relationships and trust, some of which is just not a part of the international system today, outside of a few very specific pockets. And that's neither good nor bad, it's just the reality of where we're at right now. So in order to form an effective international response or mobilize to that point, it just takes time, and time that the public is not really giving very much of. So just, yeah, everybody just take a breath.